Oh, I'll be there. Oh, I'll be there. Give me 1 second.
Great fighting! You're an up-and-coming boxer. Great fighting! You're an up-and-coming boxer.
Well, hello, human beings. Good to see everybody. Happy 2023. Happy New Year. It's good to be back. I've been really busy about the last 10 days working on some design work for this new game, but we should be evening back out. Tomorrow we're back with the proper Gabbing in the Games and I Love the Weird this week and on and on and on. So I appreciate your patience. I want to say, hey, Monstora has ponied up to the bar. He says, here's a ducat, bitch. I don't know if that's true. But Monstora, thank you so much for joining the Diet Soda Soldiers earlier in the chat. I appreciate that, buddy. Welcome, one and all. People are asking if this is a game conference. My understanding is, I could be wrong, but Sony has come out and they have said they're not going to do any TV stuff, which doesn't leave a lot. So outside of video games, my understanding is they are going to show some PSVR 2 stuff. I will hope to see some cool new trailers for movies coming out from Sony. I wouldn't mind seeing, a clip from The Last of Us, maybe some behind the scenes initial teaser for Twisted Metal, which I have not seen. I don't even know if that's ready, but I'm just thinking of the other kind of stuff they could show, because if they're not showing TVs, what else do they make besides PlayStation and, video games in general and movies and music? So I think it should be a good show. We'll see. I assume they'll trot out old Jimmy Ryan up there wearing a Crash Bandicoot. Oh, that's a different guy. Oh my God, I have to tell you guys. Let me get some of these super chats real quick. Thank you, fellas. Thank you very, very much. Troy is filming member for 21 months. Thanks, buddy. He says Wrestle Kingdom was amazing last night. I don't know what that is, Troy. I'm sort of stuck in my WWE ways. I assume that's an AEW reference, but I don't know. But I'm glad you enjoyed what you watched. We've been binging the fuck out of, what is that thing? The White Lotus on HBO is pretty fucking good, man. It's pretty fucking good. Scott Woodford, thank you, buddy. He says 29 days until Chris Jericho cruise, part 4. Well, I do think Chris Jericho used to be a wrestler, correct? And what he's got a cruise, like his 4th time he's going on a cruise. Are you going? Are you going to be on the cruise? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I've always wondered what that's about. Like when you go on these cruises with celebrities, are they just kind of wandering around and you can just sit at the bar with them? Or is it very much they're off in a cordon section of the ship until their time to do an official meet and greet and they talk on stage, but they're not really like on the cruise hanging out at the pool and shit. I've never really fully understood that. NJPW was the wrestling last night. Japanese WrestleMania. Oh, ooh, okay, cool. Is Kari Sane is back wrestling over there, but I don't know with what. Hello, Sky Blazer. I don't know with what group she is with. Bo Bandy, thank you, buddy. Member for 16 months. He says Jaffe for life. You goddamn right. I mean, you couldn't be more right about that, sir. That was the shortest stream ever. What happened? Did we stop streaming? Tell me the stream's still going. Okay, so I know Moxley was just sitting at the bar talking to fans, says Troy. Okay, so yeah, you just fucking hang out with them. That's kind of cool.
Great fighting. You're an up-and-coming boxer.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Hello. Hey, there's Rod the Mod. Good to see you, buddy. He says, Hidoshoto says, hi, I'm a new fan. I just got versed on Jaffe lore. Oh God. I'd love to know what that means. Some of the shit people write about me on the Twitter is so not true, but you know, I saw somebody, welcome by the way, to the band of fucksticks, Hedo. I saw somebody on Twitter talking about me and saying, oh yeah, Jaffe's totally been jealous and had a hard on for John Carmack all these years. And he wants to see him go down. I'm like, John Carmack, what are you fucking talking? John Carmack's a programmer. I never think about John Carmack. I don't know what he's talking about. I want to scratch the sexy beard. $199. Well, you got to pay a little bit more than that to scratch it. But Gray Fox, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. Were you going to tell me Kairi Sane is wrestling in Japan again? I know she left here, and I heard that Asuka is considering going back over there. But Legend says keep watching the Sony TVs and the content that'll play on them. My understanding is that they're not doing any TV stuff today at all. That's going to be a separate show. Hello, Uncle Filthy. Uncle Filthy says Chris Jericho has a band. Typically those things are a floating concert and they're hanging around the boat. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Mutant Mo says he probably read all the Metroid Dread stuff about me, which is, again, I just, at this point, I'm having to assume people are just fucking trolling when it comes to that. They can't really think what they're saying about my take on Metroid. I've gone over it ad nauseum, and I'm like, okay, you can disagree with me, but to act as if I said what they're saying I said is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But they don't care. They're not in it for the truth. Hey, Scott Woodford, thank you for the super chat. He says he walks around his dad always likes seeing me. Okay, there's Scott. I appreciate that you have dropped some serious coinage here. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Perhaps that should go towards maybe a class in punctuation. I have no idea, sir, what you just wrote. He says I'm gonna read Scott's chat verbatim. He walks around his dad always like seeing me, my fourth one, OG Cruiser. No clue. He walks around. Maybe you're saying he walks around with his dad, period. He always likes seeing me, meaning Chris Jericho, period. It's my fourth one, semicolon. I'm an OG Cruiser. I think that's what you mean, sir, and I appreciate it. And that's just part of the service we provide here on Gabbin' and Games. Have you gone back to God of War Ragnarok? Oh, I'm done for good, Dizzy. I have no interest in going back. I have been playing a lot of... You goddamn right. Thank you, Dude Peel. I've been playing a lot of... it does not, Darth Nugget. I've been playing a lot of Marvel Snap, a shit ton of Marvel Snap. I've been playing a lot of Marvel Knights. I've been playing a lot of High on Life, but I just don't really have any interest. It was actually kind of a relief for me to say, oh, I'm done with Ragnarok. I'm done. And I didn't dislike it. I thought it was beautifully, wonderfully made. It just wasn't for me. RPG says this is the internet, Jaffe. Things got to move their time. Got to move. They're not time for punctuation. How about using the proper version of there, maybe? Come on now. You should finish Dread. Oh God, Taylor. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah. Marvel Knights, Marvel Midnight Suns. I'm sorry. Okay. Hang on. Okay. So Kairi Sane wrestles for Stardom, all women's group in Japan. Oh, I fucking follow them on my the Twitter. Happy New Year to you, C. Lou. Thank you so much for being a member for 9 months. Corden Plays, member for 4 months. Thank you, buddy. He says, you hate Johnny Carmack. Admit it. He stole a good Twisted Metal character name. Yeah, I have never met John Carmack. I have talked to John Romero a number of times, gone to dinner with him and his wife. good dude, but never had any kind of thought or conversation with or about John Carmack. I buy what people say, that he is a programming genius. It makes a lot of sense. I think when he but when he left Oculus and he kind of, pretty much said it's a great company in some ways, but here, he dished some dirt on why that company's struggling. I thought I appreciated that as a fan of, as a apprehensive fan of VR. Okay. High on Life was hilarious, says Matt DeMarco. Oh, I agree. Oh, I fucking agree. I laugh out loud. I literally am laughing out loud, several times a play session on that game. And I'm always chuckling. It's genuinely funny if you like that style of humor. Kanye says the first 10 hours of Ragnarok are definitely slow and more of the same. I can see why someone would stop. I mean, I don't know how many hours I got into it. I did the first section where I played the kid, and then I got back to playing Kratos, and I freed that thing from under the ground, and I was like, okay, I'm good. What's going on with the horror game, says Da Vinci. Well, so some people got a little confused. I tried to make it clear. The pitch that I put up about the horror game is not the game we're making. We've been rummaging through a bunch of ideas, and that was one of them, but we're not going to go with that one. So the one we're going with, obviously, I'm not going to share, and we're still working on it. So there's, how these things go. You never fucking know. You never fucking know if it's going to actually ship in whatnot. Carmack is done with VR, says Matt. What a waste of his talents. Could be. Okay, here we go. Hey, Jerry A. Thank you, buddy. My Jewish Rabbi Bill Clinton will be present. I hope so, Jerry A. Buddy, thank you for the callback, and thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, Jerry. And thanks for being a member. Appreciate that. Let's turn up the volume. I will... All right, I will get that super chat in just a second. Let me get the sound working for everybody. Hang on.
Great fighting! You're an up-and-coming boxer.
All right, can you guys see okay? Let me know if there's a problem with all that.
Please welcome Kenichiro Yoshida.
Kenny G! Kenny G! Oh, Taylor, I missed it too.
Happy 2023. Thank you for being here.
Can you guys hear? Sounds okay?
To share with you how Sony is moving people forward.
Thanatos.
2022 was a year when we all desired a return to normal.
Thank you so much for that super chat, buddy. I appreciate that very, very much, bud.
What remained constant is the universal desire to experience joy, wonder,
a dinosaur
and
game.
Moments that move people's hearts.
While he's rambling about nothing. I never thought about a dinosaur game, no.
Referred to as candle.
No, never did. Never did. It's an interesting question. I mean, you'd think we would have after seeing the dinosaur PlayStation demo, but no, it never crossed my desk as someone else's idea, and certainly I never considered it. But thanks for the question, and thanks for the support, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yesterday, Sony's first nano satellite launched.
Sony's first what? His what?
A Japanese astronaut once told me that when you look at the Earth from space, you can see how thin the atmosphere is.
Who gives a shit?
And from space, there are no borders.
Great.
Starsphere provides an opportunity to learn more about our planet. This is made possible by Sony's technologies, such as CMOS image sensors that capture the real world. It changed the way we see the world and the cosmos all around us.
Can I buy it and fly it around?
Our purpose, to fill the world with emotion, or candle,
and branding,
drives us to
in commercials
collaborate with creators.
Hey, it's Basbo.
Their ideas, visions, and stories move people.
That's right, CK.
We constantly look for new ways to
I'm not
support
impatient,
their
Johnny Graphics. It's a
creativity.
show. Entertain me. It's a
Immersive
show.
sensors not only change the way we see the world,
Great King
but
asked
they
me
help
after.
to unlock the potential of film and television productions to create candor. The digital cinema camera Venice, created with and for cinematographers, offers a compact and intuitive design. It was used to capture the spectacular visuals in blockbusters like Top Gun 2 Maverick. Sony's FR7 Cinemaline camera opens creative possibilities in studio live production and filmmaking settings. With its versatile
I said
remote
hello,
control.
Combat Carl.
Virtual production is another field we are strengthening to
Oh,
support
that's cool.
creators.
They're going after Unreal.
In addition
Although they
to
own part of Unreal now.
Sony Innovation Studios,
Mike Warner, you'll get it
we
soon.
acquired Pixemondo in October last year, giving us the ability to deliver an end-to-end virtual production solution. We are also working with Epic Games.
Fuck you, Spasmo.
Their Unreal Engine powers real-time rendering of virtual production.
Hey, Trey Trimble, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for that super chat. Supergirl, where are
To
you?
bring to life
I need you,
fascinating
Supergirl.
stories.
Ah,
We are particularly proud of that diverse voices and perspectives.
Trey Trimble says,
audiences.
I need to find time to call the Red Phone and talk with you. I'll turn on the Red Phone right after the show. I've been watching good old PS1 demos with interviews from back then featuring you. Ha! I appreciate that. I'm here for you, baby. I'll turn it on right after. Thanks for the super chat. By the way, I saw your Dick Clark rockin' New Year Eve reel. That was awesome. I love that, Trey.
That are noisy, original, director-driven, and culturally.
I'm going to push through Nugget. I'm going to watch the whole
and also
thing.
a lot of fun. Everything about the Woman King.
They're not putting subtitles, are there?
Speaks to exactly what TriStar and Sony want to build. The characters in the script were so moving and powerful, and the action that the script painted.
Anybody
was
seen this?
so
I heard this was
thrilling
pretty
and
good.
Exciting from a visual point of view and a landscape point of view, but also from an emotional point of view. And the opportunity to have fresh perspectives tell great Hollywood
I saw
stories
Bullet Train. It was terrible.
refreshing,
I thought it was
so
terrible.
exciting, and clearly the
I turned it
audiences
off.
respond to that. Another film is
Yeah, I thought you were too fucking young to know who the fuck Dick Clark was.
The Whitney Houston story. Unlike some of the other smaller stories that have been
You
told
got
about her life,
subtitles?
this is
I
a
want
real
subtitles. Oh,
bringing
no, I got it. There they
together
are.
of her whole community, from Clive Davis to the estate. And what's also so special about this film is we have the masters, and we have done an
Blackjack says The
incredible
Woman King is
job
one of the
creating
movies all
sonic
time.
Experience, so
What?
you feel like you're in the room as the legend Whitney Houston is singing to just you. We've really been collecting.
I watched the Whitney Houston
filmmakers who are
documentary over the
dedicated to
break, and I
big
thought that was
screen, who
great.
celebrate cinema. and who
Spasbo,
have
you like
something
Bullet Train, huh?
unique
I just thought it was
to
very
say
forced.
and
I thought it
show.
was like, look how
That is a
quirky and
beautiful
weird. Like
thing,
Tarantino
and
can
I
get away
can't
with
wait
it.
to tell more stories do that.
And he does a great job with it, but this just felt like it's like, look at me, Mom, I'm a directing. I haven't seen the new Avatar.
Of our best loved video game IPs as they move from the PlayStation.
Hey, here we go,
platform
here we go.
to
Woo
the
woo,
screen.
come on now, let's see some Sweet Tooth.
The Last of Us premieres.
Ah, come on, nobody gives a shit about that shit.
HBO
I want
and
mine.
HBO Max.
I want mine.
Twisted Metal
Hey!
and God of War
My
are
baby.
being adapted
Both my
for
babies.
television as well.
Suck it. Goddamn
I'd
right.
like to talk about the racing game.
No,
that
no, just talk
created
about
the
my shit.
generation of driving enthusiasts and even professional drivers, Gran Turismo. So let's hear
Hey,
from
Bacon Magma, how you doing, buddy?
creator Kazunori Yamauchi.
グランツーリスモシリーズのクリエイター、山内和則です。グランツーリスモの歴史というのは、
I built that fucking company. I built that fucking company.
だと思っています。
fucking
その美しさ
PlayStation.
って何かというと、
How many years
もちろん
have I been
車の
gone?
美しさはあります。
And they're
それから
still
景観の美しさ、
using my babies. Come on
音だと
now.
か音楽の美し
Toss
さ
Papa Jaffe a check,
そ
Sony.
して
What the
まあ
fuck?
光の美しさですね。それから、ドライビングもそこにも美しさがあります。ソニーという会社
They
は
are skipping the Greek
グループは
stuff. That's
最高
true.
のテクノロジーを持っているだけでなく、
Jizzle
最高の
loop, I'm
企業
still
文化を持ってい
king,
ると思って
bitch. I don't
い
give a
て、
fuck.
それはどういうことかという
Give a
と、
fuck.
例えば僕らがビデオゲームを作る上で、
And I'm
ソニー
eating
が持っている
pretzels, so
ビジュ
fuck
アル
you.
テクノロジーであったり、センサーテクノロジーであったり、あるいはオーディオテクノロジーであったり、
No, I've
AI
never had rights to
テクノロジ
Twisted
ーであった
Metal,
り、
which
そういった
I
もの
didn't
が
deserve them. I
全
didn't
て
fund
有
it.
効に活用されています。僕らの仕事はプレイヤーを楽しませることですから、
Goddamn
そう
right,
いったところ
kamikaze.
に AI のテクノロジーを投入していきたいと思っていま
The
す。
fuck is he saying?
GT ソフィ
His
ーという
English is
のは
terrible.
僕らがソニー AI の皆さんと共同開発
I'm gonna
を
tell you
した
something.
レーシング AI エー
No,
ジェ
no,
ント
no.
レー
Sony
シング
wouldn't have
カー
given
を
it to me.
どれぐらい早く
That's
走ら
not
せ
the
られる
deal.
か
I never
そういう
expected a percentage.
AI エージェントなんですけれども、僕らが目標にしたのは単に人間に勝つっていうことだけではないんですよね。その向こう側にあるものを
I'll take a
僕らは目指
percentage.
しています。
Is Sony's corporate culture the best? I don't know.
グランツリスモはこの25年の歴史の中で、自動車業界あるいはビデオゲーム業界の中ではね、それなりのブランドになったと思っているんですけれども、
Oh, is that right, Morgan?
映画になることでこれまで自動
I
車
did build the
業
company.
界
You
の
got
皆
them
さん
right. You got
だ
them
けが
right.
知っていたグランツリスモというブランドが、より一般の皆
It's
さん
not a
にですね、
prenup I had with
伝わる
Sony.
良い
It was
機
just
会
the
になるん
fact
ではない
that
かと
it was a
思って
work for
います
hire job. They paid me great. I was appreciative of it. They gave me bonuses and all that, but there was never an understanding that I owned anything. That's ridiculous. You can't negotiate those, Loop, not when you're work for
So
hire.
it made sense to bring the story to the big screen. To talk about the film, please welcome Sanford, Assad, and director Neil Blomkamp.
Oh, I thought it was Sanford and Son. But Silent Wrath, it just doesn't work that way. He says, why didn't you ask for a percentage? You don't negotiate when you're an employee. I mean, you can ask and they'll say, nope, we'll have a grandson. Happy New Year to you too, sir.
Thank you, Yoshida-san. It's great to be here.
Is it?
Sony Pictures
Hey,
Entertainment
that's
has more
Assad
than 10
Quizzlebatch.
projects in development.
He's
and
he was a
production with
marketing
PlayStation
guy on the last
Productions,
Twisted Metal
including
game.
film and
Now he
television
runs PlayStation
with
Productions.
Uncharted surpassing 400
And his
million
last
at the
name
global
is
box office.
Quizzlebatch. He sounds like a
We're
Harry
pretty
Potter
energized
character.
about
Nice guy,
where
though.
the genre
Talented
is
guy.
heading. And now we've got an incredible action adventure based on Gran Turismo, which we've been working on with our partners at PlayStation Productions. Assad, tell us.
Yeah,
He didn't want to say his last name because it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Pictures. So we're excited about what's in store for Gran Turismo, which is hitting theaters this summer. It's a property that revolutionized the racing game genre by simulating the most authentic driving experience.
Visionary filmmaker Neil Blomkamp is pushing the boundaries.
I'm with
of
you,
big screen
Kamikaze.
movie making with state-of-the-art technology, making the game and real worlds collide in what we think will be an electrifying film that reflects the emotion of racing. But what's interesting is this is not a typical game-to-film adaptation.
Twisted, I didn't say I wouldn't
tell us
like it,
more about
but
it.
I'm not
Absolutely.
one
This
of
is
these
why we're
guys
thrilled
that's
about
going to
this
go
film.
back
It's
on a
film that
deal
takes
and
the
act like
high
you
stakes,
owe that to me. That's
adrenaline-filled
ridiculous.
racing simulation game
That wasn't the
and
deal.
combines it with
Trust
the
me, if I had
ultimate
signed a
wish fulfillment
contract
tale of how a
and they
teenage
were
Gran
not
Turismo player
living up
went
to
from
it,
a
I'd be
gamer
suing the
who's
fuck out of
playing
them.
in his basement with
But
his parents
that
and
wasn't
becoming a real-life
the case.
professional race car driver. And it's a story that
I'm just an
revolutionized the
honest
racing
guy.
world. And we're absolutely thrilled at PlayStation that someone like Neil, as talented as Neil, came aboard to direct.
We all were. Neil, thank you for
It
being
is a
here.
strange story to adapt, but the story I think is interesting. When I talked to one of the execs over at PlayStation Productions, and he pitched me the story, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. That's a neat story.
Well, I mean, the thing that was immediately captivating about it was the fact that for someone who's as interested in video games as I am, to read a script that was a true story that organically connected straight into the video game you know, the character was a real person. It was a super emotional story, and the game itself is interwoven in a way that I couldn't.
Anton,
believe.
how you doing, buddy?
And then the second
thank you
thing
for your
was just
membership,
that
and
I
thank
love
you
cars,
for
and it was this opportunity to shoot like.
thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that.
You're an up-and-coming
So I just, you know, I needed to sign on.
Anton says, "Where's Hogwash? We've not seen Hogwash in a long time. Wasn't watching for a couple years. Why not, Yul so-and-so? What happened? What did I do to push you away? I want to know, seriously." He used to, maybe that. He used to be the most funny guy in the community. Yeah, he was always very funny, but he just kind of faded off into the night. I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe he got his shit together and got, you know, figured out how to deal with his agoraphobia. I have no idea. But thank you for the super chat. Good to see you as always, bud.
We used
did I pay P Turtle? No. He just calls when he calls.
In spaces that typically you could never get.
Jaffe, would you have 100% rights to the new game you're working on? The new game I would absolutely have ownership in. We haven't done all the negotiations yet, but it's ongoing. And if it gets made, then yes, absolutely. You know, but I'm in a position now where I can ask for those things. I couldn't ask for that stuff before. Not just as an employee, but if I would have quit and been an independent, I was in no position to demand anything. Sony gave me an opportunity, man. Many opportunities.
Exterior photography, you can get into places and position them because they're so light in places that we could actually simulate the Gran Turismo angles, like the famous grill angle when you're racing, the POV angle inside the car. Which
I don't know, again, Kamikaze. I think they were.
And then finally, the third-person POV behind the car. We had a tiny Rialto camera on an arm that gave us a
darker.
POV that was, you know,
I think just because the cartoon nature of Twisted Metal 2,
I know from
and the movies, even though there weren't movies, but they were stills, it was like a snuff film almost. It just looks so low budget.
I know from making Uncharted together that
that's true, Rob. I hope it didn't get worse.
Unique considerations when adapting a game to a film.
Jizza, it's not far at all. We're still in pre-production. We don't even have the team picked out yet.
Great question. So
we're talking to 3 different teams.
To the big screen.
There's a big chance it will never happen because a lot of games die at this stage before it actually gets day one production. So we'll see.
We were very successful and very excited about that. And now with Gran Turismo, we feel it has all the elements to do that as well. It has this incredible
Joe Looney, there is a game that's in development.
It has this on-screen experience
for Twisted Metal, absolutely.
The emotional ride that gaming gives you and also racing gives you. And for PlayStation, you know, we really wanted the spirit and the energy of the game.
Nothing you're saying matters, Assad.
Filmmaker to do that, and also a fan of the game.
Nothing you're saying matters.
That's right.
This is so an antiquated way to communicate.
And, we're also really excited that the world is going to get to see the film when it releases worldwide on August 11th. But today, we're going to debut for the first time ever a little sneak peek on the film.
What about Twisted Metal? How about a sneak peek of that, you fucks?
Hey everyone, we are so excited to tell you about our movie, Gran Turismo.
Don't I agree with what developer?
For the cinema.
Cinema. Fuck you, Janichiro.
Sony PlayStation partnership. It doesn't get any better than this. It's a movie based on a true life story.
With heart-pounding action, drama, it's a love story.
Oh, Harper's in this.
Badass race car action that you're gonna feel like you're in the middle of. Body vibrating sound. The audience is gonna feel every jolt, every thrill of this racing at 200 miles per hour.
We're
Hello,
excited
Dano.
to share Gran Turismo with you exclusively in theaters.
Cool. I think it looks. I mean, I don't know if it's a good movie, but the shots are kind of cool looking.
GT demonstrates the power of iconic
Zinni, I saw that. That was from Jason Schreier. That's not entirely true, but I understand his point.
From live game play to shared experience in theaters, we know that audience value live events. So we want to broaden how audiences experience.
Okay, now I'll buy PSVR for
making
this.
Experiences possible, even if you are not physically present.
Okay, I'll buy PSVR 2 for this if you improve it.
Hold a limited number of fans.
Come on, I'm excited now. I'm excited now. This is exciting.
Open to everyone. So recently we talked to creators about how they envision.
No, I don't care how they envision it. Show me something real.
In the virtual world.
Show me something I can buy in a
here's
month or
what
a
they
year.
said.
I don't care about their vision. I want to buy something.
So when you create a game, you are creating a whole universe. Especially for Haven, we get to create a brand new franchise, so we're reimagining everything. The exciting thing about live service games and what we're really passionate about is growing a really healthy community and evolving a game and a universe alongside that community. It's not just the dev team
fucking VR
coming up with our ideas
concert
and
venue.
the way we see the universe, but really leaving space to co-create and evolve that universe with the people who will spend their time in it, ultimately, the players that we're creating it for.
At Bungie, we create worlds that inspire friendship. I think a big part of the challenge is that a game now isn't a work of art that you just put on a shelf and it stays the same. It's a game is a moment in time that is constantly evolving.
All right, Trey, see you soon, buddy.
Thing to really think about with development is that it's a two-way conversation. It's always about a back and forth where we're almost building the game jointly with our community. It's not just our ideas, it's their ideas, because they own the experience at least as much as we do.
Absolutely, Maxwell. Absolutely. Max says, shut up and show the shit.
What's cool about performances
Taylor
in the
Swift
virtual
concert,
world is that
virtual.
fans can actually come on stage with me and run around and interact. And
I'm in. I love shit like this. Let's go.
It brings
Let's go.
a whole new dynamic to the experience. Me and my team are always thinking of new ideas and
Anton,
cool
hey buddy,
ways to work
thank you for
in
that
the
super
virtual
chat. He says,
world.
I always love
I'm
the
in a
show
very
and the
creative
games. Thanks,
space right
man.
now,
Recently I
and I'm
asked
working hard.
I
A lot
love
of
that
music and
AI.
all this new
It named
immersive
you, meaning me,
technology
as one of the
gives me
most
the
influential game
opportunity to really
designers
be
ever. One
creative
love. Think
and
about
have fun
that.
with that.
I have been loving playing with that AI stuff, working on my story for this game I'm working on with that shit. It's amazing.
One of the
It's
most
fucking amazing.
exciting aspects
But
of
thank you for the
this
chat. That's nice to
collaboration
hear.
between
Thanks,
Sony
buddy.
and Manchester City is that it's at the intersection of
I have to
sports,
tell you guys about
technology,
a
and
VR
entertainment.
experience I
We
had a
believe
couple of
the
nights ago,
lines are
though.
getting blurred
And I'll tell you
between
after the
these
show.
three
Remind
worlds.
me.
In
Because
terms
it
of
has to
value
do with
that this
VR and
proof of
porn.
concept
I
should
shit you
deliver
not. It's
is
blew my mind.
learning what fans are expecting from us in the future. Ways of interacting with the game, ways to explore new spaces.
Downfall, you didn't
literally,
miss shit.
Ways to engage with each other beyond their own personalities. So learning is probably one of the most exciting parts of the project.
We want fans who cannot join the stadium to experience the atmosphere and to share the excitement and enthusiasm of the match with
How?
fans around the world.
How?
We are
Show
creating
me.
a prototype that produces the match highlights and allows you to enjoy it from the player's perspective and from various positions. The avatars of players, 3D images, and other expression unique to the metaverse will make it possible to communicate with players in a new way. I think we can expand the live experience that has only been available in real stadiums to a virtual space by combining Manchester City's knowledge of football and fan community
I want to go
management
to a
with Sony
concert
expertise
in VR
technology and entertainment.
that's
we can't wait to share this with
not
the
just
fans.
a 360 fucking globe. Come on, give me something.
The essence of entertainment has always been live.
You were high
Our creation
playing Star
and
Wars
interaction
Squadrons in VR.
technologies support the
Oh,
virtual
that's
world
awesome.
To provide live experience and connect them with the physical world
Okay.
in exciting ways.
Oh,
Sports is the ultimate live experience.
no. Taylor Swift concert is.
Virtual fan engagement is driving the creation of
Bacon, no, I do
global
not.
online fan
I do not, man. Ooh,
People can
PlayStation
gather
Home
to
Masochista.
interact
I'd
with
love a new
other
one.
fans, as well as a team.
Listen to this. Listen to
And
this, by the
establish
way.
new
Okay,
levels
so,
of connection with global
come on
sports
now, that was a
teams such
joke.
as
Ah, I gotcha.
Manchester City Football
Jesus,
Club.
Jeffy, you're fucking 5. You fuck. What the fuck is
Popeye,
this?
a Sony Group company, provides new and exciting angles to view live competitions that will revolutionize.
That's
how we
not
watch
live. I want to
and
see
appreciate
live.
sports.
I don't care. I don't want to see virtual
This data can
characters.
also be used to recreate the gameplay in a virtual stadium.
No, how about you get cameras in really cool places and let me
Beyond
just be
sports,
there in VR? How about that?
Which we recently acquired, will further strengthen delivery of sports directly to fans with its AI-based data analysis and visualization technology. Spatial reality display delivers an immersive 3D optical experience and expands the potential of the real and virtual worlds by providing an
Thanks, Rob.
experience that feels physical.
What the fuck am I watching? Oh, this is that stupid hologram
to
thing.
have a more dynamic virtual presence with ease, our sensor-based motion capture system can be used. Mocopy enables creators to express themselves with a high degree of freedom. PlayStation VR 2 takes users into a new era of virtual gameplay that is highly interactive.
Andreas, some of them, those little things to make yourself a virtual character is.
VR 2.
That's real.
Please welcome the president of Sony Interactive Entertainment, Jim Ryan.
Oh, here we go. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Bring out the wheelchair. Let's go. $70, lads. Am I right? Chim chimney cherry. Beats games, maybe. That's how they get around the FIFA broadcast license. Could be.
Thanks, Yoshida-san.
Hello,
it's great
mate.
to be here at CES again.
Hello, mate.
Next month, PlayStation VR 2 launches a new generation of virtual reality experiences that enable players to feel a greater sense of presence and escape into worlds like never before. The launch lineup for PSVR 2 will take VR gaming to new heights. More than 30 games are currently on track for the launch window, including much.
I will say, in Jim Ryan's credit, though, I thought he was fucking great in Clockwork Orange. Excellent in that. And in Entourage, too, he was good.
These games showcase PSVR 2's ability to immerse players and to captivate their senses in new ways.
It's an ad for Game Pass.
next-gen
Don't throw tomatoes. Come on now.
5. Today, I'm excited to announce that one of our most storied franchises will be coming to PSVR 2 at launch. Gran Turismo, a game which has sold more copies across the series than any other title developed by PlayStation Studios. GT7 launched last year to critical acclaim, and through a free upgrade, PSVR 2 players will be able to experience the game like never before. PSVR 2 launches globally on February 22nd, and you can pre-order now on PlayStation.com.
Don't care.
And that's just the beginning. I'm happy to announce that one of the VR games that defines the medium is in development for PSVR 2, Beat Saber. The award-winning and best-selling VR rhythm game is coming to PlayStation VR 2, and we'll have more information to share in the near future. PSVR 2 is just the latest example of innovation from PlayStation. We're always challenging ourselves to create new play experiences for our community of gamers around the world. As that community continues to grow with new players, it's our mission to make those experiences accessible to all gamers, regardless of their physical abilities. Today, I'm thrilled to announce our next step in the journey to make gaming more accessible, Project Leonardo.
They're called movies.
Our codename for a new PS5 accessibility controller kit that will allow players with disabilities to play more easily, more comfortably, and for longer periods.
That's nice.
Project Leonardo is highly customizable, thank you, and works out of the box, providing a robust kit of swappable components and a suite of software options on PS5. It's a true canvas that enables many gamers with disabilities to craft their own play experience. It can be used as a standalone controller, or paired with a second Project Leonardo controller or a DualSense wireless controller. We'd like to thank wonderful organizations like Able Gamers, Special Effects,
yeah, please clap. Yeah.
and several other accessibility experts who are supporting us on this journey. And we can't wait to share more details soon. Sitting at the heart of all this innovation is PS5. We truly appreciate the support and patience of the PlayStation community as we managed unprecedented demand amid global challenges over the past 2 years. PS5 supply improved towards the end of last year.
That guy was so bummed he lost. He's like,
December was the biggest month ever for PS5 console sales, and that we've now sold more than 30 million units through to consumers worldwide. Everyone who wants a PS5 should have a much easier time finding one at retailers globally, starting from this point forward. With PSVR 2's launch around the corner and blockbuster games like Final Fantasy XVI, Hogwarts Legacy, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2 coming to PS5 later this year, it's never been a more exciting time to be part of the PlayStation community. Thank you.
Oh, terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Thank you, Jim. It is exciting to see new ways to engage in the virtual world for all users. And we are aiming to further expand our reach. The metaverse is a new space for people to connect with each other. It made possible through advancements in computing and network technology. Likewise, mobility is being enhanced by these same technological advancements, allowing the creation of an evolved space, a space that moves. We recognize that the future of mobility will offer more than just transportation. Sony is committed to developing a software-driven mobility platform. We are accelerating our efforts through our joint venture with Honda. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce the CEO of Sony Honda
Anton, thanks,
Mobility.
buddy. You're not disturbing. I appreciate it, man.
Mizuno.
I love the disabled gamer controller. I think that's wonderful. So one thing they showed I gave a shit about. Elaborate on why you prefer Last of Us 1 over 2. I don't. I love the second one a lot. I did not like the first one. I thought the first one
to share with you
was just kind of
together with some
pretentious for me, a little forced. But I thought the second one was great. Love the second one. I haven't finished it, but that's me.
Inspirations. Under this purpose, we, Sony Honda Mobility, has just begun.
Kamikaze, we'll talk about it in a second. I'll tell you within reason what I can tell you about my lunch I had the other day with some ex-Sony people, but I can't tell you I can't tell you much. I'll tell you the high level though.
Our innovation and mobility will be based on the 3 A's. Autonomy, augmentation, and affinity. Autonomy delivers a new way to experience mobility. It is also focused on ensuring safety and security. Augmentation is about evolving conventional concepts.
I don't know, man. I'm probably going to pass it first. I hear it's amazing, people who've played it, but ultimately, I will say I am using my Quest a lot more lately, especially without the controller, just using hand tracking. So I'm not sure yet. It depends. But yeah, if they started doing like concerts in VR that were exclusive to PSVR 2 and shit, like real good fuck yeah, absolutely. But I'm still on the fence, I guess.
Well,
Union, I mostly edit my own videos. Sometimes, what you gonna show? Sometimes I outsource, but more often than not, I do my own at the moment.
New brand, Afida.
They should bring out Megan, that robot doll. I'll buy that. Show me some good shit now. Agree, JR88. Developer, my favorite? Probably Eco or Onimusha. I gotta play it first, Twisted Sith. It's a car. What does it do? I would too, Christian. So? Skyblazer, ask me after the show, or this conference.
This is a prototype under our new brand, Afira. And at the heart of this mobility experience is the word of feel.
And cutscenes. It's the first car ever with cutscenes.
Our concept of an interactive relationship where people feel the sensation of intelligent mobility and where mobility can detect and understand people and society by utilizing sensing and AI technologies. Following this
PS1?
we will
okay.
proceed with the development towards mass production, anticipating to start taking pre-orders in the first half
Probably Metal
of
Gear
2025
or Spyro.
and start sales within the same year. The first shipment will be delivered to customers in North America in spring 2026. For the design, we are taking an approach that aims to set new value standards for mobility. As we evolve automotive design to focus not only driving dynamics and performance, but also on software, networks, and interfaces, we want to think out of the box to revisit the underlying philosophy of vehicle design. On the exterior,
Alexa, am I dying?
Media Bar allows the vehicle to interact with the people, expressing itself by sharing various types of information to people around it. Together with our partners and creative communities, we plan on exploring the possibility of how MediaWare can create a fun and exciting mobility interaction.
The fuck are you on about?
As safety and security are
Okay,
essential
details.
to mobility,
Good,
we
here we
will
go, details.
integrate Sony's sensors and Honda's safety along with other intelligent technologies. This prototype is equipped with a total of 45 cameras and sensors inside and outside the vehicle. In-car cameras and time-of-flight sensors detect the driver's status along with the vehicle condition
They fly
to
now?
prevent accidents. Combining these sensing technologies with maximum 800 TOPS high-performance SoCs, we aim to achieve industry-leading automated drive and advanced driver assistance systems. And of course, we also
That's
intend
good,
to
Jeeves.
provide
Jeeves says the
best-in-class
car has
entertainment
backwards
for our
compatibility. You can put it in
customers.
reverse. That's pretty good.
In addition to movies, games, and music.
It's a
we
car!
envision a new in-cabin experience using our expertise of UX and UI technologies. In order to realize intelligent mobility, continuous software update and high-performance computing is required for AD, ADAS, HMI, IVI, and telematics. To that end, we will work closely with Qualcomm Technologies. We will utilize their latest SoCs from Snapdragon digital chassis to realize next-generation mobility experience. Being able to share our common vision
And if you look under your
direction
seats
with
right
the
now,
Qualcomm team,
everybody
we
gets
are
a key.
very
The cars are out
excited to
front.
build
You
a
get a car.
strong
You get a car.
technology
I'd
partnership
do that.
with them.
I'd do that shit.
Well, we have a lot to share with you tonight.
Not really.
We have also started exploring how we can make augmented time and space for mobility experience with one of our key partners, Epic Games. Please welcome Kim, CTO of Epic Games.
His name is Kim? It's like Madonna? His name is just Kim?
Wow. pretty awesome.
Oh, he's got a last name, Labrary.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be here with you all.
That guy was not going to attempt to say his last name in his English. He's like, Labrary?
Which is used to build all sorts of entertainment and industrial applications. Sony has been a great partner for over 2 decades, using Unreal Engine to create amazing games, and more recently, TV shows, concerts, and much more. It's a collaboration that spans many markets: games, music, consumer products.
I know it's CES. I'm not complaining there aren't games. I'm just saying I'm complaining what they are showing.
Industry. And we couldn't be happier to see Sony and Sony Honda Mobility enter this innovative world of interactive automotive technology.
Come on now. Come on now.
We're working closely with them to help deliver connected automotive experiences that lead the way not only in visual communications and safety, but also in entertainment. Modern vehicle technology has loads of potential to enhance the driving and passenger experience with sensors, active safety systems, and beyond. And the most natural way to visualize such data is through intuitive, interactive photoreal augmentation, the very stuff our game engine was made to do. As mobility is changing, so are the expectations around user experience. A programmable, highly
You goddamn right, Aries. Thank you, buddy.
Enables these experiences not only to be cutting edge, but also to evolve over time. In the future, the automobile will become a next-generation destination for social connectivity, not only for the occupants, but also their network of friends and colleagues. It will become a continuum of our digital lives. Given Sony's experience and expertise in entertaining and delighting people across the planet, we know they'll come up with some incredible ways to capture the imagination. And Sony Honda Mobility is uniquely positioned to lead the creation of these incredible new
Supergirl, save me,
Together
please.
with Sony and Sony Honda Mobility,
where are you? I want to see up your skirt. Oh, there she is. Thank you, buddy. I will get the super chat in just a second. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
We will continue to evolve our new services
via
software updates over the network, including 5G connectivity. What we have shared today is just the beginning. We will proceed as a mobility tech company to connect diverse inspiration and pursue cutting-edge technology to create mobility experience that move people. Thank you. There's more to come.
Was that the same guy? Was that the same guy? How'd they do that?
To see a new adaptation of game engines, moving from
how'd they do that?
Technology to making an enhanced mobility experience possible.
I'm not high.
Based on our roadmap from mobile to mobility, we have introduced software-defined products.
Did you see that? He walked off on the right, and he came on the left.
With lifelike movements and continues to evolve through software updates, as well as AI that enables it to learn.
Who's this?
AirPig.
What's racist?
Creators.
What's racist about it?
And provides unique views that are amazing to experience.
He looked like the same guy from that shot.
Our common partner who has supported us in achieving key milestones on our mobility roadmap is Qualcomm. So please allow me to invite the CEO of Qualcomm, Christian Amon.
That's not racist. It's not racist when they do look the same. Those two individual human beings look the same.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming, Cristiano.
Thank you.
So, Cristiano, can you tell us Qualcomm's roadmap from mobile to mobility?
Yes. We are on a mission to really make everyone and everything connected and intelligent. And as a result, we have been changing the company and is scaling our technology roadmap that is started in mobile to basically make every single device connected, having high-performance computing, intelligent. And we're on this journey
Fuck you, Morgan.
like Sony. A great example, I think, of that transition at Qualcomm coming to life, and the roadmap is what we're doing together.
Okay, listen.
Not only on
Fuck you. Listen, I got those super chats and stuff. I'll get them in just a second. Hang on. Thank you for those, fellas. One moment.
With mobility.
I didn't say anything racist.
Example
Fuck
of
you.
This transformation of technology. When we look of the opportunity to transform the car into a software-defined vehicle that is 100% connected, it is intelligent, and it has completely new experiences.
Is it like Kit from Knight Rider? Then I'm interested. Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
It represents our ability to drive those new experiences for the future of mobility. And we couldn't be more excited to partner with you in
I want a sex robot too
on this journey.
Okay, Cristiano, what excites you the most about our partnership in the mobility field?
Well, there's a lot that excites us about this partnership, but I would just say Sony Honda Mobility is one of the companies that really understand the potential of this technology and can really bring our technology to those new, consumer experiences. And
what are you talking about?
Every single element of the Snapdragon digital chassis. How we connect the car to the cloud 100% of the time in a reliable manner. Connectivity is changing some of the car experiences. Build the digital twin of the car in the cloud. How we put all of those screens for the Snapdragon digital cockpit. Car companies now can
digital
talk to their
fuck bit?
customers every day.
I'm going to turn that down for a minute and read these super chats. Anton, thank you, buddy, very much. He says, Twisted Metal 2. Yeah, Bubba.
We're super proud to be partnered with Sony Honda Mobility for all of those aspects of the Snapdragon digital chassis. But the reality is, one of the things that really excite us about this partnership is the joint passion.
Twisted Metal came out a year before Gran Turismo 1. Were you having insights from the Japanese Sony department? Or maybe Need for Speed? No, none of that really affected anything. Our inspiration was Mad Max and Car Wars and Smoking the Bandit and Dukes of Hazzard and Hollywood chase scenes and all that stuff.
We are transforming how
Thank you for that, buddy. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate it.
while contributing to sustainability.
Hey, Poor Degenerate. Thank you, buddy. He's been a member for 8 months. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that support, Poor Degenerate. Tip of the hat, whatever. I don't have a hat on, so. Jerry. Thank you, man. That's a huge, generous super chat. He says, this showcase looks like DLC. Man, love you, Jeffy. I love you right back, sir. Let's go make a baby. Thank you for that, Jerry. This is a terrible showcase. I don't know who this is for. I like CES. I like high-tech electronics. I like cutting-edge weird shit. This is a shit show. This was a shit conference, Sony.
We are supposed to be the good guys. We are.
Who's innovating anymore? It ain't Sony. It ain't Sony. Now there goes monetizing the stream. Oh well. I mean, that was terrible. And by the way, I'm not even saying that was terrible. Like, there's not interesting technology on display. I'm sure. Hey, Glenn, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. I'm sure there is, and I'm sure maybe that they will be the first company. I'm not sure, but they could be the first company to do self-driving cars in a way that it's just the best ever. Because Sony is a great company when it comes to certain kinds of tech. But boy, nothing sexy about that show. That was incredibly dull. Incredibly dull. But, who knows? Who knows? Hopefully we'll be seeing some more interesting stuff coming out of CES, though. What I've already seen so far, there's a new thing you put onto your toilet. And when you pee in the toilet, it's able to determine if you've got an illness or something. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But So I'll definitely be keeping. And that's, all that stuff is cool. This is, and I'm not going to watch it. Come on. Why would I fucking want to watch that? Why would I fucking want to watch a game that's the exact game that's not in real time? You're not, I guarantee you these athletes have not agreed to have a bunch of fucking sensors hooked up to their body while they're playing in the World Cup and have that get in the way. It'll be afterwards. At that point, just watch the fucking thing. Okay, the VR. Okay, here's what I'll tell you about the PR porn thing. So, well, it kind of dovetails, right? So, I went to lunch the other day with Shannon, who used to run Sony Santa Monica and was hang on, let me move this over here. Was the producer of God of War, and Shannon is. And I went to lunch with Alan Becker, who ran Sony Japan and founded Sony Santa Monica, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, Buzzati. I'm not being negative. Oh, you're not saying me. I'm not being negative. And we were just talking about tech and new stuff and all this shit. And I said to Alan specifically, because we were talking about VR, I said, hey, have you, I got to be honest with you, VR porn's insane. He's like, oh, really? I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's so insane, right? So he's like, well, we were just shooting the shit, and I had to send him some links anyway. So I go into VR, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to send Alan some porn links, not like to pornography, but just to places where you can go and see the state of the art and shit, right? I'm not like, here's some porn I like, Alan. Nothing like that. Totally on the up and up, more of a tech, here's where things are, because he was curious. And I have seen before 360 VR porn, right? And it's mind-blowing. It's like you're there. It's staggering. So I'm getting him links, and then I see a link, and I've never seen this before in my goddamn life. This was so weird. I did not know and you guys may know this, but I'm not really in this world all that much. But so they have now cam girls in VR, right? And you're like, yeah, no, I never knew that. So it was live. And I'm like, okay, I have to see what this is about. I have got to see what this is about. So I clicked it. And it's this woman sitting on a bed. And it's live. It's live. And you can talk to her just like on a flat screen. But it's in VR. And you can move kind of around her a little bit and get up close and move back. And it's like, it is weird, man. It is like you are in the room with this person. I have never experienced anything like that in my goddamn life. It was the shit, man. It was very cool. It was very cool. Like, to the point of going, why would I ever leave home? Why would I don't know. It was amazing. It was very cool, Stoner Joe. I'm not addicted. I just was amazed by it. Did you guys know you could do it with cam? Okay. Geekbot says there are no cam girls in VR. I didn't know it either. But yeah. No. There was like 600 people watching, Zinni. 600 people watching. But you could pay for a private show if you wanted. Anton, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Again, he says, are you still in touch with Shannon? Yeah, Shannon and I had lunch, like I said, just a couple of, like last week. She's where I got that DICE award from. She pulls them out at the middle of the table, one for me, one for Alan. And it was for the first God of War. And I made a video about this. I was just like, where'd you get that? And she's like, well, I didn't like that back when we made the first God of Wars, we never actually got personal awards because Sony had a policy against that. And I said, really? I didn't even think about it. She's like, yeah, it bugged me. So in the time since, I reached out to DICE and said, hey, can you guys make some awards just for the individuals for that game? And they said, yes, I guess. And so, yeah, that was last week. She's great. She's great. I every time I see Shannon, I say, I says to her, hey man, come produce my stream. Because I need a producer like Shannon. She's so awesome. Yeah, every time I say it, I kind of wiggle the tooth a little bit more loose. So you never know. You never know. Haptic 3D porn will hopefully cure us all the deadening sense of loss we are feeling in atomized digital age, says Cathal. I don't know about a sense of loss. I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate. I think I don't know. I just think it's different. I think it's just different. I think even this, like, you should go outside more. Well, why? I mean, at a philosophical level, outside is the same as inside, is the same as virtual. It's just, is it real? Well, not really. Our brains are taking all of this data and we can't see most of the data or recognize most of the data with the senses we have, and it's putting together a picture that we call reality. That is somehow what? More relevant, more noble, more powerful than the digital version of that? I don't know. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that I wonder if that's not just sort of a knee-jerk response. Women would no longer be the gatekeepers for pleasure that is much needed, says Aaron. Well, I mean, I don't look at women that way, but I definitely do think that people's needs, whatever they may be, will be able to be met without the kind of effort that used to have to be made if you're willing to concede certain things. And I think that's fine for those people if they're willing to do that. That's fine. Where did this go? I like Jojo D says, my only experience with VR porn included a guy with a 12-inch schlong who approached me twirling his penis like a lasso. Oh, Joe, I worry. Is anybody willing to offer to help Joe navigate through cyberspace and the information superhighway? I worry he's just going to end up in the worst of places and not know how to get back home. How did you even approach such a thing, Joe? In order to watch the VR, do you need to own VR gear? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. No, you absolutely, you put on a VR headset. What did I Google? All I Googled was porn VR. Okay. And then what came up was like, Pornhub VR. Okay. So I click on Pornhub VR and I do copy and I put that in my thing to send to Alan. And then I do, Zandatsu says, Jaffe keeping his clothes on is gatekeeping my pleasure. Oh, well, baby. Cool guy. Thank you, buddy. Drop super chat. He says, Michael Does Life is a scammer. I don't know him. I talked to him once. I called into his show. I thought he did a shtick and I think he got mad at me. I don't know. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. What was I talking about? Yeah. So I put that in the save as file or whatever for Alan. And then it's like underneath it, it's got, I don't think it was from Pornhub. Maybe it was an ad, but it's like, Cam Girl's live now. And I just took the controller. I'm like, what? I can just see her live. And I bloop. And within like 2 seconds, I'm in the goddamn cockadoodie bedroom with this lady and 600 other people. And she's right there. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to lie to you. She's a fucking gorgeous woman. And there's a point, and you can do all the stuff like tip her to do this, take her top off, whatever. There's a point where this woman looks right in the camera, though. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. She looks right in the camera and just starts making noises and smiling. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. She's there. She's there. It's amazing. It's amazing. These dudes are going to get hooked on VR cam girls. I know. Rob says that was me. Yeah. Well, whatever works, man. It was cool. It was cool. Zenny says, man is way too excited to tell us about this because I've never seen such a thing. And let me be clear also, I certainly wouldn't have the same response, but I would have a similar response if I did Zoom in a VR, right? Just that sense of presence of being able, like I'm just, because I don't know what you need for that, and I don't know how much of my audience on these streams has a VR headset, but just to be in the room with the person that you're having just a meeting with, nothing porn about it, just like, hey, let's talk about how we're going to design this level. It was crazy. It was crazy. I love the idea of just being able, you know what is the digital part about what I love so much is the idea of being able to basically write your own definition of what your life is, right? Whether it's how you want to meet with people, how you want to play games, how you want to order food, how you want to order groceries. I love that control that I have. I think that's what's addictive about the internet and tech for me. Jaffe says, Darth Nugget, that woman was being held against her will in a house in Romania. How do you feel now? I honestly, look, I'm a absolute supporter of sex workers if they're doing it because they're into it and they want to do it. Obviously, when you're talking about people who have been, sold into prostitution and all that shit, I have huge issues, as anyone should. But that said, though, assuming that they're there because they want to be there, I would tell you that, I agree about legalizing it, of course. I would tell you that, no, I didn't buy a membership or anything. I just thought it was fascinating. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. I was reading. Yeah. But what I was gonna say is, I imagine if you are a sex worker and you can make good money this way, I don't know how they do. I imagine pretty well. Hang on, let's see what she wants. How safe is that? You're in your house. Yeah, you got to pay a percentage to the company that runs the service, but you're in your home. You're totally safe. You don't have to see anybody that you don't want to look at. Like if you're like, you're creepy, I'm just going to take your money and ignore you. I think it's great. Jerry A, thank you, buddy. He says, Pandora's box has been opened. Jaffe is hooked. I am absolutely hooked on the sense of presence. It's not like suddenly I've gone down the rabbit hole of VR porn. It's that though, to be fair, is the first time I have seen that I have seen live video VR with a headset. That I've never seen that. I mean, I've seen like, I'm going through a haunted house and I can look everywhere, but that's different than a sense of a live person sitting there having a conversation with you. That was crazy. That was fucking crazy. That's all I'm saying. Whatever. Fuck you. Whatever. Hey, thank you, Anton. He says, why God of War? I appreciate the super chat, bud. Starting from 2018, took this turn in becoming a Last of Us game instead of preserving the DNA, a refined slasher. Well, look, I will tell you that, I have said, I enjoyed God of War 2018 a great deal. I thought it was a fantastic game. Finished it and everything, which I rarely do. And I liked it a lot. It was great. I get why they did what they did, because there was a sense of diminishing returns. And if they would have just followed the template that we had established all those years ago and just up-res the graphics, I think it would have done pretty well. But it needed a shot in the arm. And what Corey did, I thought, was very clever, not just at a game level, but at a marketing level, and it allowed people to feel good about loving God of War when the narrative among the press had been like, that's old school, that's violent and sexist. It wasn't, but it was violent, not sexist. So I understood. But do I think certainly that the essence of the older God of Wars have been lost to that series? Probably. Like, I was fucking around with Dante's Inferno today, which I need to finish and I love. And I'm like, yeah, for me, that's the kind of God of War I like. But, they've totally reinvigorated that character in that franchise. And I think that's fantastic. Yeah, it's not about a VR movie. Joe says Robert Rodriguez made a VR movie with Michelle Rodriguez. It was the fact that it was live. It was the fact that it was a living person. It would be like if you had a headset and you were watching me and it wasn't just on a flat screen in VR, but I was broadcasting in VR, and you would be like, I'm sitting in a room with Jaffe. I'm not watching him on a screen. I am sitting in the room with Jaffe, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Am I going to stream Ragnarok? I already streamed a little bit of it, and I think I'm done playing it. Right now, like I said, I'm playing a lot of Marvel Snap, but I'm back to normal gabbing and games tomorrow, and I Love the Weird this week. So I'm sure I'll start streaming some games as well. We'll see what it is. You can broadcast in VR on YouTube, Lucas says. Yeah, but I don't have a VR camera though. I don't have any way to broadcast in VR. I mean, I can this somebody could be watching on a VR headset right now, but it's not native VR, Gary says, isn't there some guy trying to outlaw internet porn? There's always some guy trying to outlaw porn. I will tell you that I was stunned, and I cannot imagine the Supreme Court, if it gets that high, won't overturn it. There was a law that went into effect on the 1st of January in Louisiana that says you have to have a government issued ID if you go to a porn site. So they showed, I think it was on Vice or something, where if you go to Pornhub and you say, and it detects you're from Louisiana, which I guess is where Rob is. Rob, maybe you know more about this, that it'll be like, yeah, you have to enter your government ID or you can't access this website. I do not think that is going to survive the courts, but it's in effect right now in Louisiana. What AI tool was I using? I was using Chat GCP or GPC or whatever. And it was batshit. It is batshit. I mean, it's gonna, I mean, you know what I think it is? Here's the deal. I want you to think about this. I mean, so right now, those chat bots, and this isn't really a chat bot, this is a search engine, but it's a conversational search engine. And it is, if you haven't played with it, you should, because it's staggeringly cool. But it's just a search engine, but soon, it's going to get emotional. It's going to present as a conscious being, even though it won't be. I mean, man, when you talk about, I remember when online dating started taking off, and I was married at the time, but somebody at, I think it was, what was the company? Eat, Sleep, Play. Young guy in his early 20s, he was on dating sites, and he was telling me all about it. And I remember saying, it's amazing what I used to have to go through. And now you can just enter, this is what I like. And boom. It doesn't mean you're going to fall in love. It doesn't mean you're going to find what you like, but you can narrow it down. Now you're just talking about everything from, this is the kind of sex I want to have tonight. And I want it to be presented, whether it's a robot or virtual. I want these check marks met. Is it real, quote, real sex? No. Does it matter? Depends on the person. When you go into a video game, I want this kind of story. I mean, I'm telling you, guys have seen this, right? I mean, if I'm going to just show you this, you're like, yeah, Jaffe, we've seen it. I know, but I have to show you because I think it's so fucking cool. Hang on. Not the VR porn. I'm not going to show you that. I don't want to get demonetized, but I am going to show you this. This is crazy. I know you guys have seen this, but I'm just head over heels in love with this. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, you're not wrong, man. Who is it who said that? Optimism says AI will help emergent gameplay games. Fuck yes. Fuck yes. That's what's so exciting about it. Hang on, let me get up on the screen. Right? I I tried VR porn. It's cool, especially anime. Well, again, I'm not talking about VR porn. I'm talking about live cam girls the girls are using VR cameras. That's insane. If someone has had sex with a real person, it would matter. I've had sex with many real people, and yes, it's different. But what I'm saying though is, hang on. What I'm saying though is just like Sony's first. Here's a quote for you. Just like Sony's first-party games are clearly better in terms of production value and execution than Microsoft's first-party games, convenience and cost go a long way in allowing you to go, it's good enough. Just say that. Same thing. All right, hang on. What am I looking for? Okay, so let's see. All right, I'm going to bring this up on the screen. I'm nuts about this, man. I'm nuts about this. Okay, hang on. Internet, is that it? No. Okay, I think we got it. Monitor. I wasn't set up for this. I wasn't planning on showing you this, and now I got to do it. Sources, come on now. Okay, is it the second one? I think that's it. Okay, yeah. Okay, so check this shit. You have to have seen it. And if you've seen it, you're like, yeah, Jeffy, this is like 6 months ago. I only came on this pretty soon. So if you say, okay, write a short story about Solid. I don't know if they'll do IP characters, but let's just try it. About Solid Snake appearing in the Mortal Kombat competition. Let's just see what happens. Solid Snake, the legendary soldier and member of the Special Operations Unit known as Foxhound, has always prided himself on combat skills. So when he heard about the ultimate fighting tournament known as MK, he had to enter. As Snake made his way to the tournament, he couldn't help feel a sense of excitement and nerves. He had faced some of the toughest opponents in the world, but he never faced against the likes of Scorpion, Raiden, Sub-Zero. When he arrived, he was greeted by a sea of fighters from all corners of the globe. Some were there for fame, others fortune. Snake was there for one reason, to prove he was the best. As the competition began, Snake fought his way through the ranks, taking down one opponent after another with stealth and combat skills. Finally, the moment Snake had been waiting for arrived. The final match against Shang Tsung. The two fighters faced off in a grueling battle, but in the end, it was Snake who emerged victorious. As the crowd erupted into cheers, Snake held his arms up in triumph, knowing he had proven himself, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now, let's say that's okay. That's okay. Now let's make it more interesting. Let's say make it so Snake falls in love with Sonya while fighting, and he loses, but and he has his heart broken because he has to defeat her. Okay? Now listen to this. Okay, so it's going to use some of the same. He entered Mortal Kombat, blah, blah, blah. He found himself falling for Sonya Blade. As they fought, Snake was struck by her determination, impressive skills. They two formed a close bond, and Snake found himself falling hard for the warrior. As competition climaxed, Sonya and Snake found themselves facing off in a final match. They clashed swords. Snake had to stay focused. It was difficult with his heart torn in two. In the end, he was forced to defeat her and advance the championship. As he stood, he couldn't help feel a sense of heartbreak. And then you can even change it more. Then you can go, okay, make it so Sonya betrays him and it makes him throw himself off a cliff. Right? It's nuts. And then I'm going to show you one more thing. Let's see. I want to see how she. Okay. In the final match, she revealed she had been working for Shang Tsung all alone, and her feelings for Snake had nothing but a ploy to win the competition. Now, watch this. So now you can drill down and you can say, give me 5 different ways and reasons Sonya could betray Solid Snake. One at a time. Okay, give me. Oh, come on, you fucker. Let me take this. Give me 5 different ways Sonya could betray. Let's get rid of reasons. Come on now. 5 different ways Sonya could betray Solid Snake. Or generate response. What? Hang on, let me copy it. Let me refresh it. All right. I don't know if it'll remember. Look at this. Look at, right? She could reveal Snake's location of the enemy. She could sabotage his equipment or supplies. She could work against him, attacking him or assessing the enemy, deceive him, pretending to be on his side while working against him. And then you can drill down even more. Then it's like, what are some ways she could sabotage? Hang on. Now watch this. Let's see if it does this. What are some ways she could sabotage his weapons that would break his heart at a romantic level? It's difficult. Hey. Okay, let's try it again, but let's just get rid of romantic level. Okay. Oh, here's some example. Here's some anyway. Sonya could intentionally damage a weapon that has sentimental value to him. She could tamper with Snake's weapons that cause them to malfunction in a crucial moment, putting his life in danger. She could be supportive and secretly sabotage his weapons, causing him to lose trust. I mean, it's just, it's insane. It's insane that this is, right. Zan says you got to understand it's just the beginning. It's going to get a lot better very, very quickly. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, imagine, so let's, I'm not going to make a story about you, Rob, but here's an emergent video game. Okay. So, tell me a 1-paragraph story about being a female explorer in the jungle in 1942. Okay, now watch this. As I made my way through the dense jungle, I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and adventure coursing through my veins. As one of the few female explorers, I was determined to make a name for myself in a field dominated by men. Sweat dripped down my face as I hacked through the foliage with my machete, following the faint trail left by the rare and elusive species I had been tracking. Despite the challenges, I was determined to succeed. Okay, so let's assume for the moment this is like an old Infocom game, right? Which is where all this started, okay? So eventually this will be done with graphics, okay? So, but let's assume you were playing this game. So I'm like, okay, if I'm playing it, I want her to, I can say, tell me about the rare elusive species. I don't know what it'll say. Okay, so if I say, it can't quite parse it the way I want it to, but give me examples of what the elusive species could be. And she says, undiscovered monkey or primate, exotic bird, reptile that has eluded scientists for years, unique medicinal properties, and insect. So if I say, okay, make it a plant that lets you see into the afterlife. Let's see what happens. She made her way through the jungle, machete slicing. For years, rumors circulated about a mysterious plant that was said to grant its users the ability to see into the afterlife. Many searched, but none had succeeded. As she drew closer, she couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. Right? I mean, this is amazing. This is amazing. I can ask it to play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know about that. Okay, let's try it. Can you tell me an interactive story? Probably not. What? Anyway, you get the idea. Now imagine this a little bit down the road, right? Imagine this, that this is not how I wrote Witch in the Woods, John, but it is absolutely how I've been working on more things like, I'll give you a great example. Here, watch this. I absolutely, as I'm working on the story that I'm working on, it absolutely 100% has been me going, hey, give me some ideas of weapons that could, function here. And then they come up with 12 and I go, I want to take that weapon, but make it more supernatural, right? I mean, here, give me an idea of a shotgun that is possessed by a ghost. Let's see. Spectral weapon can be wielded by the ghost that possesses it. It has the ability to fire ghost bullets that pass through physical objects and can only be seen by those who are sensitive, supernatural. The ghostly shotgun is said to have been used by a vengeful spirit to exact revenge on those who wronged it in life. Blah, blah, blah. It has a will of its own. Okay, I mean, you could take that and fuck around with it. But if I say, tell me a story where The Rock wins Twisted Metal and there is a twist ending where he must give up his fame. Let's see. Once upon a time in a world where deadly car battles were the ultimate form of entertainment, a scrappy little vehicle named The Rock rose to fame as the champion of the annual Twisted Metal competition. The Rock was a rundown pickup truck with a rusted exterior and a powerful engine. Its driver, a no-nonsense mechanic named Jack, had spent years tinkering with The Rock's mechanics. On the day of the competition, he faced off against sleek, high-tech cars, but with his expert driving skills, The Rock's rugged determination, they emerged victorious. As the champion, The Rock was showered with fame and fortune. They were the talk of the town, and every mechanic wanted a piece of The Rock's formula. As the days went by, Jack felt the weight of his fame. He was constantly hounded by paparazzi. One day, while driving, he stumbled on a group of kids who were admiring a dilapidated old car. Seeing the look of longing in their eyes, Jack realized they had selfishly hoarding all the fame for himself. He made the decision to give up the fame and pass the mantle of Twisted Metal. I don't like that story. Okay, but I would say make it so The Rock, so Jack name is The Rock too, and he is a famous movie star. I have no idea if this will work. Once upon a time, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Let's see. A Rock rose to fame. The driver was none other than the famous movie star also named The Rock. The Rock, the movie star, was known for his rugged good looks, impressive physique. Right? So now we've got The Rock in. And now we want to make, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Optimism, how do you do an interactive story? What do you tell it to do? Legend says, give it the idea of a dimensional jumper in the multiverse chasing a time traveler. Okay. Tell me a story about a multiverse hopper. I don't know what that is. Chasing a time traveler. Sure, it's fan fiction, but everything's fan fiction until you sell it, right? I mean, come on. Optimism, tell me what to ask. I just want to see if, tell me an interactive story. Well, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but once upon a time in a land far away, there was a brave knight named Sir Gallant. Blah, blah, blah. On a dark day, blah, blah, blah. Sir Gallant knew he had to stop Lady Evil. As he went through the countryside, he encountered many dangers. As he stood before Lady Evil, he drew his sword. Oh, wow. Okay, well, it's not interactive. You have to... Okay, so let's see if I can type. Let's see. Okay, so he gives me options. But say I'm going to just totally take it off the weeds. Sir Gallant uses a time machine weapon and sends him and Lady Evil into the year 3000. Okay, now if she gives me another prompt after, pulls out the time machine, activates it, in a flash of life, he and Lady Evil were whisked away to the year 3000. She gasped. She'd never seen anything like it before. Taking advantage, Sir Gallant quickly overpowered her. Yeah, but see, I want it to keep going. I want it to have multiple options. I wonder how I could do that. But isn't that amazing? God damn. Anyway, fellas, that's been our little chat. Thanks for hanging out with me, watching the press conference such as it was. Let me geek out on AI and VR porn and all that. Thank you for the super chats, the new members. Again, I will be back tomorrow with the proper Gabbing Games or I Love the Weird. Not sure which one we'll do first. But normal streams resume tomorrow. And I'm off, fellas. We're going to go finish watching White Lotus. And I got to get some stuff to Poland about this new game that we are working on. So Jojo D says in 15 years, there'll be unskilled doctors who get their MD with a dissertation from chatbot. Yeah. Hedo, some writers do use drugs to get ideas. I never have, but a lot of people do. John Jaffe just typed continue. Well, okay. Let me try that real quick. Hang on. Continue the interactive story. As he returned home to Heroes Welcome, he'd proven himself. Let's just see what he says. I wish it's only one paragraph each. He's on patrol. There was trolls terrorizing a village. Okay, so it's we'll see. All right, fellas, I'm out. Be well. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Legends, you're watching Willow. I need to give that a watch. All right, see you guys.